to another edition of Spotlight on Natural Resources. With me again is Duane Friend, and I'm Bill Waisner. Duane, with all of the information coming to us about Houston, we're thinking naturally about natural disasters and what can we do in Illinois, or do we really need to prepare for something like that? I haven't seen very many hurricanes in my neighborhood, but I suppose there are other things we've got to prepare for. What do we need? How do we do that?
That's true, and we'll never see a full-fledged hurricane here in Illinois, barely even remnants of a tropical storm. But and first of all, of course, our thoughts go out to all the folks down in Texas, Louisiana, and the rest of the Gulf Coast. That's as we're recording this, they're still getting hammered with tons of rain and storm surges and those things. We really don't have to worry about effects of a direct hurricane or a tropical storm, but we've got a multitude of different types of natural disasters, and not only natural disasters, but we can think of other types of potential disasters that come up that we really don't think about on a day-to-day basis, but here in central Illinois and really anywhere people should think about in the Midwest. Of course, we've got tornadoes, we've got windstorms, and really a lot of the longer-term natural disasters, more widespread natural disasters that we may have are things that maybe occur in the wintertime when, in terms of our physical safety, may be in more jeopardy. Of course, with colder temperatures, we have to think about winter storms, things like ice storms, and just a general winter storm that may shut down the roads, may turn off the electricity. And then other things that we may have to consider, we may not really want to think about, but things like if there was ever a computer attack on the electrical grid where maybe a widespread area of the Midwest or maybe a lot of the U.S. would be without power for maybe days or weeks on end. And that's something that's probably, hopefully, kind of far-fetched, but it's still something that we need to consider. So this is just one of those things that we really need to think about in terms of having some type of basic preparedness kit set up for those kind of situations. And probably people have seen some of these things before, but it's a good idea to remind folks of some of the things that they really should keep on hand for just such an occasion. Now, of course, one of those main things is going to be water. People need water on a daily basis. And one of the guidelines to go with this is you should have at least a gallon of water per person per day. For the basic emergencies, FEMA usually suggests having things on hand for 3 days, but there may be situations where we would need those types of supplies for longer periods. So it's really up to the individual family on what they want to supply for, but at least a gallon of water per day per person. And that's going to be for drinking and for sanitation. On the food side, of course, you want to have something that is going to be non-perishable, and it can be eaten cold. So things like canned tuna, peanut butter, crackers, canned fruit, juice boxes, canned meats, things like that. Trail mix is another good one. Of course, if you're going to have cans, you need a can opener. And one of the other big necessities for a long-term emergency preparedness plan is to have a battery-powered or hand-crank radio, something where you can get information where you don't need electrical supply to get that information. Along with that, you're going to need a flashlight if the power is out. And one of the other big things, and this is one of the things that I'm guilty of, I don't keep a lot of extra batteries on hand. So you need to have extra batteries. Make sure that you replace those batteries periodically because they do lose their power. A first aid kit, a basic first aid kit for those kind of things. And then some other basic things to think about. You may need some moist towelettes for cleaning your hands and for personal hygiene. You may want some garbage bags, tools, even an adjustable wrench and pliers. There may be situations where you may need to turn off a gas supply, may need to turn off a water line, so you need to be able to have the tools to be able to do that. One of the other things, and this one is one of the things that I thought about that a lot of times isn't listed on a disaster kit, but maybe a good idea to have a camera handy, so that especially if you're going to be making an insurance claim, if it's some type of natural disaster that it's harmed your house or personal property, you may want to have a camera on hand to be able to take pictures of the damage that's been occurred or that has occurred. And then one of the other big things that a lot of times people don't think about in terms of setting up a personal disaster kit or a family disaster kit is, where are those important papers? Where are the insurance policies? Something it's not the best thing to think about, but it's still something we need to plan for. Where is a will? Something that just in the worst case scenario, if somebody else needed to get to that information, where is it at? And do other folks know where that information is available? And is it in a safe place? Probably one of the best places to have those kind of things would be in a safe deposit box, but maybe even having another copy of that in a plastic container at home so that it's easily accessible. So those are just some basic things that people need to think about in terms of a disaster preparedness kit.
Very good. And of course, as we head into September, which is, what did you say?
September is National Preparedness Month, so you're probably going to see a lot of public service announcements and those types of things come out in the next few weeks on developing a disaster preparedness kit, and just for people to think about what they need to have in place for any type of emergency.
Very good. Where can we go for more information, Duane?
One of the best places that you can go to, and this is a national extension website, but it's the Extension Disaster Education Network. And if you put in a search for that, it would bring it right up. It has a lot of different types of information, very good information on family preparedness.
Very good. Well, for another edition of Spotlight on Natural Resources, this has been Bill Waisner and Duane Friend.